In this video, you're gonna get to know all the 5 years of knowledge that I learned over the course of my workout journey, and I'm gonna transfer that knowledge into y'all. You better not miss out, because if you do, you will be missing out on an advancement in your exercise journey. Now, this is important here. Now, let me start off with the beginning, because you need to understand this to put it all together. Whenever I began, I was 16 years old. This is 5 years, so I'm 21 now. Whenever I began, I made sure that I ate no added sugar. That was the first thing. No added sugar. And what's the point of this? Well, it helps keep your physique on point, and it helps build that connection in your brain of what's going on in the moment. You want to make sure that you get this discipline going. So building that discipline, that starter, no added sugar, that was important for me to begin. Now, whenever I started working out, I set myself a few goals. So I wasn't that big, I was pretty scrawny at the time. So I made sure I set myself a goal like 160 pounds body weight. That was another goal I had right here, 160 pounds body weight. Now, stick with me. I wanted to make sure that at this body weight, I could hit 225 pounds on bench. Okay? Beautiful handwriting, beautiful. Now, at the time, I was only probably 148, 150 pounds body weight, and I was pushing like 160 pounds bench press, and it was the ugliest bench press you've ever seen in your life. Ugly. It looked like the worst thing you've ever seen, bro. All right. Now, I also wanted a squat that was 315 pounds. That was a big thing. 315 pound squat. And you're probably like, why is he writing all this accomplishments that he wanted to get? Because that's what you need to start doing. You need to go out there, write you down some accomplishments that you're trying to get right now, so you can start this workout journey, especially if you're in the beginning. But this is for all levels, so I'm going to make sure that every level you're at, you can make sure that you figure out something from this video and advance in your career like a skyrocket, bro. All right. So yeah, no added sugar, 160 pound body weight, 225 pound bench, 315 pound squat. And now you're asking, I wonder if he ever got it. Yeah, bro, do you not watch my videos? Of course I got it. I got way more than that, bro. All right, so after I hit all of this and got all of this together, then I went on to my next goal, which was outside of the realm of exercise. It was something in sports. I wanted to break a record in my field house. I was playing football at the time. I wanted to get the squat record, which was 395 pounds for my body weight. All right, so I'm right here. Record. You're going to have to bear with the handwriting, bro. All right, so I wanted to break that record. And that really kept me going. So whenever I was at that age, I was like 17, 18, I'd already hit all these accomplishments here. And now I'm trying to break this record. And whenever I did, I was trying to push myself even farther. So I was working out so hard. I was doing a workout every single day, a squat exercise every 3 days, maybe even 2 days. I mean, I was going insane with it. I know y'all don't like to do legs, but I tell you what, this record, it'll do a number on you. You'll want to do legs every single day, I tell you what. Now, whenever I broke that record though, I experienced something. And I gotta erase this for y'all so y'all can really grasp what I'm talking about, bro. Because whenever I broke this record, something crazy happened. And it wasn't just one record. I broke two, by the way. I went to the next weight class and broke that record. All right. So after this happened, I gotta tell you, this is gonna be changing, all right? Changing your whole mentality. So whenever I broke that record, guess what? We're gonna have to do the red for this. I hit a plateau. So I was going up, and then I hit the record, and I didn't just hit a plateau, I went down, all right? And you might be wondering like, oh no, why is he telling us about how he went down? Because whenever you exercise, it's not always gonna be a steady rise. You're not always just gonna be going up. You're gonna have to go down so you can go up even higher. See that? Up even higher. And you're like, well, what is he talking about? How does this make any sense? So, whenever I went down, after doing that exercise and hitting that record for squat and bench press, all that, I went and started playing basketball. I changed my focus. I wasn't exercising every single day. I was doing like some jump training and stuff, but I was playing basketball and I was focused on it. And I did amazing, if you're wondering. I did great for my school that I was playing at, and now I've been playing college basketball, and I'm going to keep trying to continue to play. But we're going to talk about this right here, this increase. How did this happen? How in the world did I get up this much? Because after I took that break, I got the recovery that my muscles needed, and I got the rest, and I got the mental break from all the exercise that I needed. So then, after that, I was able to come back to the gym, rejuvenated, and hit it even harder than I would have before. Okay, you see what I'm saying here? Now, back to this. So you're like, well, what happened after this? Okay, so whenever I hit back to a flat line, I maintained. So this is called maintenance. Since then, I've been maintaining this steady pace right here. You're like, what happens at maintenance? Well, I get to keep all this stuff from this peak I had, and I'm still at this peak. I won't be back at this peak right here until I decide and fully commit to going back to exercising and working out. Now, I still got some muscle gains, but it's not as much and as strong as it was because I'm so focused on my sport right now. You can't be focused on all these things at once. You can't try to be the best runner. You can't try to be the best bodybuilder. You can't try to be the most powerful powerlifter in the world and accomplish all those things. You can be great at all those things, but you can't be the very best at those unless you put your whole focus into one thing. So, how did I reach these peaks right here? That is a key point. How did I reach those peaks right there? You want to know how? I reached those by putting my whole focus onto them. So I was laser focused on one thing and one thing only, breaking that record. That's what was going on right here, breaking that record. What happened here? I knew I was at this low point in my life, and I wanted to experience my lifts to go up. I thought I could never hit 315 pounds on bench. I thought it'd never happen. So you know what? I set myself that goal again. I was like, I'm gonna hit 315 pounds on bench. We're right there. So 315 pound bench. Okay? I thought I'd never hit that. I thought I wouldn't be 11% body fat. I thought I wouldn't hit 170 pound body weight. But that's what it took, me having these goals set out in place for me to hit this peak here. And how have I maintained it? I've maintained it through keeping in some of the same exercises, working on hypertrophy. In the beginning here, all hypertrophy work to get up to this point. And once I got about right here, started doing strength exercises, set me over the edge, okay? Then you go back down, you gotta start doing hypertrophy again to get yourself back up to this point. Then you start strength training once you get to the peak. And that's where you get all that strength to come in place. What's hypertrophy, you might ask? It's where you're doing 8 to 12 reps on a bunch of sets and you just working on putting in a bunch of reps basically to get your muscle to grow in size. Why would you do that? You want your muscle to grow in size at like a bodybuilder first, so then you can add the strength into it, and you get way more strength out of a bigger muscle than you would a tiny muscle. Dropping these facts, this is 5 years of exercise knowledge that y'all are getting. Y'all are so lucky right now. I wish I had me talking to this camera and listening. I would have went nuts out there, bro. All right, so what else do we have here? This maintenance. I'm still in the maintenance process. And yes, one day, once I stop focusing so much on this basketball, I'm gonna go back up and reach an even higher point than I did before. But you can't realistically always be on a steady incline. You can't always be going up. That's unrealistic. Always going up. Why? Why can't you? Because you have to go down and take a rest period before you go back up, and you'll have mental burnout, and you won't be able to continue this process for all this time. You think you can, but you can't. We're gonna have to erase this so I can tell y'all my last point here. It's one of the most important points I got for y'all. So my 5 years of exercise, I've seen a lot of things. I've been bench pressing before and had a guy tell me, hey, can you spot me real quick? And I was like, yeah, sure. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He's benching 225 pounds. And he was gripping it normal with his thumbs like this. As he was benching it, it just slips through his hands. I don't even understand how it's possible. He was the tightest grip ever. I was standing over top of him. And bro broke his ribs. This guy's a doctor, actually. He's a doctor. And he broke his ribs as I was spotting him. It bounced. It was so fast. Bounced, and I caught it as it bounced off his chest, so it didn't hit him twice. He probably would have had a lung collapse if it hit him twice. But you got to make sure that you're doing this with a spotter, or you know for sure that you got this weight under control. That is one big tip. Because if you get an injury, them little downfalls I showed y'all, the down periods I never had an injury. And if you experience an injury, it's going to be detrimental. It'll be like worse than mine was, and it'll take way longer to recover from that. So make sure whenever y'all are training, y'all are doing it in a safe manner. All right, with the spotter, make sure you watch some of my videos and you get the right form down. I got videos on form and all of that. All right. So now, this is one of the most important parts of the video. What exercises have I been doing for the past 5 years to experience all these gains? All right, so first, you know, bench press, all right? Everybody knows I've been doing bench press, okay? That's what everybody typically does right there, bench press. They walk into the gym, they're like, where's the bench at? All right, what else have I done? Squat. A lot of y'all like to skip squat. I love squat personally, builds great muscles, okay? Boost your testosterone. Stick with me, this is going somewhere. You got pull-ups, chin-ups. I'm just going right pull-ups. Pull-up and chin-ups, they're great for calisthenics, building muscle, and it'll make you want to lose weight. You want to lose weight during this process while you're doing pull-ups so you can get more pull-ups. What else have I done? Sprints. This is a big one people don't be doing. Sprints makes powerful, explosive, bigger muscles, okay? If you ain't doing sprints, you're going to be slow poking out there, man. You're going to be doing your exercise and you're going to be looking silly. You ain't going to have no coordination. All right, what else have I done? Jumps. Doing jumps really improves the ability to work on your squat. Just think about what happens whenever you're squatting. You're going into that squat motion just as if you was jumping. Same thing. All of these tie in together, okay? Now, why am I doing these exercises? This is a big point. Why am I doing all these exercises? Okay. We might have to go black here. All right. Why am I doing all these exercises? That's because they're compound exercises. Compound. What's a compound exercise? Why would you do a compound exercise? Well, you do compound exercises because they target a big variety of muscle groups. Your whole body is engaged during a compound exercise. Bench press, you might think, oh, it's just your chest. No, dude, shoulder, rear delt, your lats, your legs. If you ain't using your legs during a bench press, you doing it wrong, bro. You gotta get maximum power, maximum gains. That is what we maximizing here today, the gains. All right. Squat, pull-ups, sprints, jumps. These are all gonna maximize your gains. What is so special about squats, sprints, jumps? They boost the testosterone 10 times. People don't understand. 10 times boosted testosterone. Do you know that people pay to take testosterone and have abnormal side effects to it, and they still take testosterone and it makes them way bigger? And they do this knowingly that this will happen, and it's illegal. Guess what? You can naturally get 10 times the amount of testosterone boosted into your body just by doing these 3 simple exercises. Why would you not? All right. Now, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. In the 5 years of working out, what have I experienced? What have I learned? I learned that the number one key to building muscle, getting stronger at a lift, anything along those lines is consistency. Consistency is key. Think about how you got better at, what are you good at? Let's say you're good at basketball. How did you get good at being able to shoot the ball? Did you just walk out there, start shooting the ball, and you made every shot? No, I know you didn't. Because I've been out there shooting the basketball, and it took me about 6, 7, 8 years just asking people how to figure out how to shoot the basketball and to get good. And now I can make all my shots, man. And guess what? Before, I couldn't even do that. So what happened before when I first started exercising? I can put up a video for you. I can show you. It looks silly. I was sitting there and I was like, ugh. I had wrist wraps on, my wrist hurt. I couldn't even figure out how to do that. You know why? Because I didn't know what to do whenever I exercise. I didn't know that you could strengthen your wrist through exercise. Yes, you can do that. You can make your bones stronger through exercise. Now, consistency and frequency. So you want to start, if you're learning how to do something, do it every single day. If you're really that committed, if it's your number one focus, you will be doing it every single day, and you will truly learn how to become one of the best at whatever you do, okay? Even if it's not exercise. But we're trying to maximize the gains here in this video. So make sure that you are safely doing these exercises, you're consistently doing them, and your frequency is on point. Now, you may not be doing the exercise right at first, but eventually you will learn how to get the mind to muscle connection to properly do the movement. Now, if you haven't liked and subscribed, go ahead and do that now, and I will catch you on the next one. If you want to see some of my other progress, check out my 4 years of benching, 4 years of squatting. I should put the link in the description, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.